Students, happy Thursday. I'm here in our playlist for week 2. I'm going to go through our Thursday ELA activities. So we have 2 IXL activities to do, and then a writing prompt, which is on Google Classroom, and then our historical moment slide, journal slide. So real quick, I'll refresh on IXL. We can come in here, type in our username, so demo student 52. Sign in. Fix the verb that does not match the tense of the verb in bold. In response to our questions, Scarlett blushed and looks at her feet. Okay, so this would be blushed, which is past tense, but then looks is present tense, and it should be looked at her feet. Yay! So that's what you're doing for here. The group traveled across the desert at night and camped in tents during the day. Okay, so again, we've got traveled here as an ED, so then we would need camp to be past tense. There we go. So that's this one. Meaning at the end of the evening, Cole locked the door and cleans the flowers and counters. And so we would do this. Got it? Cleaned, because it has to match. Awesome. So that's that IXL, verb tense shift. And then, ooh, prepositions. We know prepositions. So fun. Select the preposition. Will you attend the meeting with us? With. If I forget prepositions, if I happen to do that, super okay. I can go back to, all the way back to when we were in regular school, and I can look and find somewhere, oh, my list of prepositions. So you still have this. So you can keep this up, and look, I see with, and we can have this up while we continue to go through this. Select the noun or pronoun that is the object of the preposition. Okay, so look behind the ketchup and you'll find the mustard. So our preposition is going to be behind, but this one, we want the object. So ketchup. Does that make sense? Again, we're looking for the object of the preposition. You should wrap some gauze around your arm. So around is going to be our preposition. So then your arm would be the object of it, because what are you wrapping? You're wrapping it around your arm. Does that make sense? Tyler found the cocoon on, okay, so this one we need the preposition. On that leaf. On. Got it. Does that make sense? Will you meet me outside the theater tomorrow night? Outside. If you have any questions on prepositions or verb tenses, just leave me a comment anywhere. You can leave me a comment on any of these, and I will get back to you. So that's that. So once I've done, I'll take my questions answered. 3, my SMART score 28. Hopefully that'll be higher because I'm doing it for 10 minutes. And then once I have that done, I can do this. Fantastic. Cool. All right, my writing prompt on Google Classroom. So I have my writing prompt here. So I'm using Secret Agent Cows and translating Aunt Edna, the 2 stories that I read this week. I need to have evidence from both stories. This is very important because it says it. 2 paragraphs. Okay, well that makes sense because I've got 2 stories, so I can do 2 paragraphs. So that works. All right. How does the author create humor? Do the authors create humor in their stories? So humor is kind of funny, but it doesn't have to be like laugh out loud funny. It can just be amusing. Okay, so it doesn't have to like literally make me laugh, but it kind of like creates humor. It creates this kind of like lighter tone. Let me add that. Creates a lighter tone. Yeah, humor. Okay, so I've got my two stories. It's Secret Agent Cows. I'm translating on Edna. All right, so I'm going to go through. Now, humor is subjective. This means that it is different for everyone. So what I think is funny, you might not. Same thing, you might find this is definitely an activity where you could find humor in a lot of things, and your humor and someone else's humor could be really different. So, like, I think it adds humor. I think this adds humor. It made perfect sense, too, while Lee was lying in a dumpster. Right? That, for me, is that, like, kind of, I don't know, entertaining, right? Because does it make perfect sense? I don't know. Then it had to be the worst age, right? I also think way down here, hold up. This I think is super funny. This definitely. But the letters don't match, right? And then he doesn't seem to hear him, and he keeps on talking. And then his description of infinity, that's entertaining. That's humorous. It's your destiny. What a crummy destiny, right? So there's a lot of things. I mean, the eyeballs skipping across. Right now, ooh. So the picture. Can I talk about the pictures? Now, if I look here, the pictures are illustrated by Francis Blake. Who is not our author. So, if I look here, it says the authors. So, I can't use the pictures, but I could find a description of the picture and use that as humor from the author. Right? So I have to make sure that I'm yes, the pictures are funny. This is a funny picture. But I can't use the pictures because it's not the author. So I could think that the description of the cow adds entertainment, right? The cow talked into a phone, wore dark sunglasses that hardly disguised the fact that it was a cow, jumped into a circle and vanished, right? I could pull humor out of that. I can pull humor out of the eyeballs, but I cannot use the picture. This could add humor, that he makes a mistake, right? So there's a ton of stuff that you can do for this. So let's go to our next one. Aunt Edna. So it's my obligation to increase your vocabulary. So this is a different type of humor. Translation. She always needs to teach us new words, right? That adds humor. You can it's kind of like dry humor. She's always got to teach us new words, right? The legumes are delectable. I think this word delectable adds humor. Don't embarrass her in public by burping on the bus, right? So there's a lot of humor in both of these. She scrunches her eyebrows. She spent an hour looking through the encyclopedia, right? We told her we couldn't take baths, right? So there's a lot of humor. So now the tricky part here is going to be that you have to explain how your details show humor, okay? Especially since humor is subjective. This means that you have to explain clearly and with a lot of detail what makes you find humor in your evidence. Does that make sense? Because I might not outwardly look at your evidence and think, yes, that's funny. But you can explain it and say, hey, this line or this scene or this part, I think that adds humor because it creates this image in my mind and I can like picture it and it makes me laugh when I picture it. Or, this other part, like just, I don't know, I just busted out laughing because I can't imagine my aunt talking to me that way. Or, so you have to explain it. So, when we're doing this, let's see. So we can start, we need an introduction. The authors in both stories use humor. In the story, Secret Agent Cows, the author uses description of whatever to make the reader laugh. An example is, here's where you quote from the text. Okay, then this is the important sentence. This shows humor because you need this sentence. I would say it's even multiple sentences. I also think this because. Okay, then you have in the story, translating Aunt Edna, and then you're going to basically do the exact same thing. You will follow the same pattern from the first paragraph. Do not forget your explanation sentence. That is the most important one, or two. Okay, and then your conclusion to wrap everything up. All right, this should be more than 4 sentences. Please do not turn in 4 sentences and think you are done. I will turn it back to you. You are all capable of writing a lot for this prompt. Gotta do it. If you do it right the first time, this is a good one. If you do it correctly the first time, you do not have to do it a second or third time. So just do it well the first time. You can do it. I know you can. So this is your writing prompt. You have until Tuesday to get it done. So you can start it today and then go back and look at it again. Then your historical journal moment. Nope, your historical moment journal. There we go. Today you just have one slide. So you will go down to slide 12. And, write a letter to the future. What should someone who's not living through this know from a primary source? Okay, so one thing I remember. So, dear future people, the year is 2020. The month is March. We have been isolated in our homes for weeks. You should know that if this were to happen again, I would stock up on toilet paper. That was the first thing to go in stores. Can you believe it? We couldn't. But it happened. So stock up. The other thing I would make sure to have is, and this is where you continue on to go. This is important. Do not give me 2 sentences. Again, if you do it correctly the first time, you do not have to do it a second or third time. I will send it back to you. I will tell you to add more detail. You are living through this. You can write a lot for every single one of these. You should have like a full page written here. There's no reason why anyone should be giving me 2 or 3 lines and then saying, hey, I'm done. Nope, you will continue to work. So do it correctly the first time, and then you're actually done. All right? Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please use the private comment and let me know. I am here. I'm here to help you on anything you need. So let me know. Good luck and have a wonderful day.